Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video to this channel. Welcome to a look at Monday's update on a Tuesday. So really sorry that I didn't do the update yesterday, which is going to cover the Aura overhaul. I have been a little bit MIA on the channel, but I'm hoping that over the next couple of weeks I'll be fully back. Basically, I've just had a bit of a break, doing some house stuff, and I've been sick. It's all that kind of thing, which we'll cover in another video. However, yesterday the Aura overhaul came into the game. Auras are now removed from the game, which in my opinion, is one of the bigger updates on the road to restoration. Auras have been critical to a lot of gameplay in RuneScape 3 over the past couple of years, so to remove them completely is a major move, and one of those things where I really hope they've kind of like really had some thought in the updates and embedded them into the skills in a different way, because I do think they were beneficial. I do think they were used for good reason, and I think to have some of them, especially the skilling ones, still kept in the game is a really nice thing. However, I've been looking and doing a bit of research on Reddit and stuff to see how it's gone down. There have been some people who have said things have been good, but there's been quite a lot of feedback which has said it's been bad about some certain things. So what I thought I'd do, I know it's a day late, but let's just jump in, talk about the auras. As always, I'm looking for your comments in the comments below. Let's get a little bit of discussion going. What do you think to this update? What do you think's gone well? And also, what do you think has gone bad? But let's go down and I'll give you guys my opinion for it. So essentially, the reason for removing this was to get rid of the imbalance of auras. So if you had a new account and an account which has all the higher tier auras unlocked, if they were to go into a PVM situation, the auras would give a direct benefit to the longer playing player, which they wanted to move away from. But more importantly, I think auras gave people a sense of having to do certain content during certain windows when auras came off cooldown or when auras were available, which they're kind of getting away from that, being forced to play certain styles certain ways, which I suppose I agree with, because there were times you would be sort of forced, and as long as the auras are implemented into the game in a nice way, I really don't think this could be a bad thing. Again, auras were damaging, but because they've been in the game for so long, have they just already done enough damage? So I don't know. I'm a bit on the fence on this one. I can see why they want to remove them, but I can see why people would want to keep them as well, because they were a really nice thing to have. So what we're going to go do first is the auras which are changed and what they're doing for it. So the first one we're going to start on with is green fingers. Now, if you have tier 3 or above, your aura is automatically going to be unlocked wherever you can go and get it from. So for example, if you have the Master Green Fingers aura tier 3, you will already have the Green Fingers benefits unlocked from Sidekick's Shop of Balance, which will save you 30k Crux favor. So if you have tier 3 plus on any of these skilling auras below, you will already have it unlocked. So for me, I don't have to do this because I already had the Master Green Fingers aura. So what you can do is for 30k Crux favor, which again, you can use instant growth potions from player owned farms to get this quite quick. You'll be able to get a 7% passive increase to your herbs, allotments, hops, mushrooms, and nightshade crops, which is really nice because if you did big herb runs, so where you did like your herb runs, your flowers, your hops, and then your trees, you were a little bit tight on your Green Fingers aura, but to be able to have that is really nice. So for this one, I'm kind of a big fan of how they've implemented this, because to get the Crux favor, you need to go and farm herbs. So to farm herbs, you're essentially earning your own Green Fingers, which will benefit you in the long run by giving you more herbs once you've unlocked it as well. So no real issue with this one. Nice to have Green Fingers still around. To have it as a passive effect is really good. So the next one is going to be Focused Siphoning. So this is one which was really used in RuneSpan more than anywhere. So naturally, they've put it in RuneSpan to unlocked from Wizard Rinsit's Runecrafting shop for 20,000 points. So once it's unlocked, you get a 7.5% boost across the board for siphoning success. Now the good thing is as well, that this is going to benefit from the Dailyscape overhaul, where you're going to get double points from siphoning across RuneSpan. So that's going to be really nice. Again, like I mentioned before, if you had tier 3 or above already, you're going to have it automatically unlocked, which will save you having to gather those points. Now, 5-finger discount. This is going to be a really good one. So this is going to be sort of implemented in the Thieving Guild store with Pilfer points. Now, it's going to be in different tiers. So you're going to have 4 different tiers. Each one is going to cost you 1,000 Pilfer points and give you a 2% boost. As before, if you had 5 fingers unlocked for tier 3, you will get that refunded to you already. But it's nice. And the thing is this is going to be a permanent boost. They've also added Pilfer points into heists as well. So if you are someone who was able to do heists, you don't have to go and crack in safes. You can go and do heists for your Pilfer points as well. But I imagine if you're someone who's done 120 thieving over the past couple of months, you should have already had the 5-finger discount to a pretty decent tier, because 5-finger discount gave you the ability to AFK so hard at different tiers. But again, really good way to integrate it. Safe cracking is going to be probably the way a lot of people are going to go and do their thieving. It's just going to be a bit more of a focus to go and do safe cracking for thieving as well, because you want the Pilfer points to unlock 5-finger discount. I'd probably say that's more important than actually unlocking your loot bags. So again, Really nice bit they're integrating this into the skilling. So that's going to be free skills already, like where you are going to get it as a benefit as well. So Enrichment is going to be the divination one, and they've done this one slightly different. So rather than this being a reward, they've actually added the increase rates onto different levels. So at level 39, you have a 2% chance to increase the chance to obtain enriched memory. Level 59 is going to be 4%, 79 7%, and then finally 99 is going to be 10%. Again, really nice. Nothing player has to do extra. It's just going to be a benefit from leveling up your stats, which is what it should always been anyway. Auras really kind of took away the benefit of leveling up your stats for a bonus, and this is the much better way of doing it and integrating that as well. So very similarly, although it's not giving you a level for when you're going to get a boost, the tracker one for Hunter is basically going to have a permanent boost to all of the different Hunter creatures you're going to encounter all the way up to level 97 as well. So it's going to be a base boost all the way through, which is really nice. Basically, it's following over from what the early game rebalancing did to Hunter, where it gave you a bump up in terms of your catch rate. It's basically going to take that across all of the different tiers as well, which should be really nice actually. The fact it goes on Jadinkus, Grenwalls, all the higher tier sort of Hunter creatures is really, really nice. Now, Call of the Sea does it slightly different, so this is going to be fishing. So the fishing familiars do all have a boost, which is nice because it gives you a benefit to having a summoning familiar. Gives purpose to summoning, which is what we want. We want content to have a use in the game. And not only that as well, the various fishing tools now offer improved catch rate. So a Rodomatic now is 3%, Enhanced Rodomatic 4%, the Dragon Harpoon at 9% is actually very, very good. The Crystal Rod going from 5% to 8% is very nice, and then Tavia's, if you are lucky enough to have it, is 10 to 14%. Not only that as well, the Perfect Juju Fishing Potion now actually has a much better use. So this is going to give you a 10% catch boost up from 5% as well, which would be really, really nice. Again, teaming it with things like your familiars and a decent fishing rod or harpoon will be really good to get that bonus catch rate going. Now, Lumberjack is, again, going to kind of follow fishing. So your tier of hatchet is going to equate to the bonus you're going to get. So Mithril to Rune will give you a +5, Orichalcum to Bane is a +10, and then Imcando and higher is going to be 15% as well. Not only that, if you're going to use your woodcutting level and an axe over leveling, so what this basically means, if you're like level 80 woodcutting and you're going to go and cut yews, you'll get a bonus with that as well. So this will be a 5% boost for your more likely to chop wood, and then that's going to increase to 7% once you're level 120 as well. So you can have a benefit to cutting lower tier trees if you've got a higher level woodcutting axe as well as a higher woodcutting level as well. Quarry Master, they originally didn't have plans for this. They weren't going to include this at all. So due to feedback from the community on Reddit and Discord and all that sort of stuff, they decided to include this into mining now as well. So this is the critical chance for Nisora has now been built into the mining skill directly. An initial 5% crit chance at level 59 and another 5% at 85. So that's really nice. And again, all of these will be there forever. So this boost is just passive forever. Like, it's not going to be on a timer. It's not going to be for a certain period. You're not having to be forced to go and mine for an hour because your aura is available. You can literally do it whenever. Resourceful has been slightly changed. So what this is going to do is make sure that archaeology spots aren't going to vanish after just 2 resources, which is nice. But it's nothing too massive. It's going to have like a slight passive to make sure that nothing depletes straight away, which is nice. Demon Heim aura is just going to be a passive as well. So all the benefits you had from Demon Heim is just going to be a passive once you go into the dungeon. Again, the Demon Heim achievement diet is actually very useful. Like some of the things here, very, very nice. So pretty decent there. So Vampirism Penance. So originally having these as spells on a spellbook was going to be a kind of mid solution in my opinion. So I didn't think it'd be bad, but I didn't think it'd be good. But what they've decided to do is that this is going to go on top of Darkness and Animate Dead. So what this basically means, if you want to activate Vampirism, this is going to go on the same sort of space as Animate Dead. So you can't have both. So you can only have one or the other. And it's also the same as well. You can have Vampirism or Penance. You can't have all these abilities together, which for someone who was looking to have like Animate Dead, again, for the learner PVMer now, it just makes it a little bit rougher to be able to do this. We do have Vampirism gloves and we do also have Penance powder. But the spell just doesn't work in my opinion. I think you're losing something which is way more powerful in the form of Darkness Animate Dead than just to have Vampirism Penance. And also as well, Vampirism Gloves, you also have the Scrimshaw if you're doing melee as well. So there's other options. I just think that's just not correct. I think Vampirism and Penance could have been something you could have created that or a slot for just so they could have had that spot. But I don't know. I think this is the stuff which is getting a lot of bad feedback. That it's just not good. I've just tried it for like 5 or 10 minutes to try and do something and it's annoying. Animate Dead is so much more useful. Same with Darkness as well. been these two spells that you're not really going to use for spells as well. Maybe for a really mid-level account who doesn't have access to Animate Dead or Darkness just yet, it's going to be quite good and quite critical, and that might be what they're trying to look at and trying to pitch to. But for the high-level player who would have used that, I just don't think it's worth it. So yeah, the Might of Het, which is going to have been the previous Desert Panathon effect, that is now tied into the Totem of Vitality. So if you're someone who used that before, that is what you do. Poison Purge, they've actually tied into the Antipoison Totem, which is actually quite good because it might have given the totem a bit more of a use than it has before. Again, no one's really used a Anti-Poison Totem probably in about 10 years, but maybe it's worthwhile using now. Harmony, Corruption, and Salvation is now linked to the Sun Spear, so you have to do some cremations or some kills as well to go and get that as well. There's been a lot of auras which have been removed. Again, most of these are named towards like combat or stuff which wasn't really worthwhile using. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. Now, if you have purchased the Majorat Aura using root points since 3rd December, you'll get a refund for them. Anyone beforehand apparently doesn't, which I think, yeah, that's a bit rough. Loyalty points seem to be going, so there's not really much use from now the auras have gone. In terms of aura refreshes, anywhere you would have got aura refreshes to drop on the super rare drop table, they've now been replaced with Star Bloom Flower Seeds. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, looking for feedback on what you guys think about it as well. I'm happy with the skilling ones. The skilling ones, I think it's really nice to sort of like put them into the skill so you can earn them as you skill along. In my opinion, not the biggest fan of Vampirism Penance, but yeah, it's one of those where there's alternatives to do it. It's not as bad as what it could have been. There are alternatives where you can still use those benefits with other things. But the Vampirism gloves being lower tier, maybe not worth it. But let me know what you guys think anyway. And we'll be dropping some more content on the channel. The Hogger's going to come back. I'm going to be doing some more moneymakers. We're going to go and try and get back into the normal routine. But thank you guys so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.